everyone, welcome to my channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Savannah, and today I'm going to be showing you what I eat on a typical day and sharing some plant-based summer recipes. After starting off my day in the garden and checking in on all the plants and doing some watering, I decided to go for a chickpea mash for breakfast and make some sandwiches. These sandwiches are a really typical meal that I'll make just because they're so easy and you can really season it however you want. Today I decided to go for a ranch kind of flavoring, so I'm using garlic, salt and pepper, a little bit of dill, as well as some Dijon mustard. The hardest part about this recipe is just all the mashing, but it's a nice little morning workout, and just be careful not to spill it everywhere. After all that mashing, it was looking a bit dry, so I added a little extra Dijon mustard. The bread I had this day was a leftover baguette, so I just added some oil to a cast iron pan and toasted it up, and also seasoned it with a bit of nutritional yeast and garlic powder. I really love the crispiness that it gets from the cast iron pan, but you can definitely use a toaster as well. While those are getting nice and toasty, I went ahead and prepped my toppings. So you can see how nice and golden those got, and I'm gonna go ahead and assemble my sandwiches, starting with chickpea mash. Keep the sandwich nice and light and refreshing, I'm also using cucumbers with some salt and pepper, as well as some nice heirloom tomatoes. I had one of my favorite dairy alternatives on hand, which is this vegan feta cheese from Trader Joe's, and it has really nice creamy element and also a little bit tangy. Fits really well with this sandwich. Finished it off with some extra arugula that I had on hand, and then it was ready to enjoy. I also served the sandwich with a bowl of local strawberries. After some more work in the garden, I had this leftover pasta salad for lunch. The herbs and the cucumbers made this really refreshing, and it also had a good amount of protein and fat in it from the peas and the feta. And let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a full recipe. A bit later, I was craving something sweet, so I started off with a bit of dark chocolate. And yeah, I was still craving something more sweet, so I went ahead and made myself a strawberry lemonade with some leftover boba that I had, which will be coming up in a video soon. I was clearly too excited for this because I did spill it all over my counter, but it was no worries. It was still worth the mess because it was really good, and especially the fresh chunks of strawberry were really enjoyable. And then for dinner, I wanted something quick and easy, so I went for a ramen noodle stir-fry. You can really use any noodles that you want. These were the ones I had, and this recipe is also pretty budget friendly. The first step is to follow the package instructions and just boil the noodles. While those were cooking, I started my veggie prep, beginning with a Napa cabbage that I had left over in the fridge. And I always keep a bag of carrots in the fridge, so those also went into this recipe. I'm just peeling and dicing them. The portions and measurements for these recipes can be really flexible, so just make enough for you to feel nourished and satisfied, because that's going to look different for everyone. And don't worry about making too much, because it's always nice to have leftovers. For the sauce, I peeled and diced some ginger and garlic, and that was about 4 cloves as well as a thumb-sized piece of ginger. For the protein of this dish, I'm using tempeh, which is fermented soybeans, and it actually has a bit more protein than something like tofu, as well as some really beneficial probiotics, which are great for your gut health. I was going for some triangle shapes here, but definitely feel free to be creative. I kept the sauce really simple, it's just a bit of soy sauce, some gochujang, and an extra clove of garlic. To thin it out, I added a bit of extra water and then tossed it with the tempeh. To a hot pan, I added in my oil as well as carrots and the tempeh. Then I let that cook for about 2 or 3 minutes. Then I added in the cabbage and then just mixed it up until it was nice and evenly coated. Once the cabbage had softened a little bit, I added in my strained noodles as well as the ginger and the garlic, and then I finished that with a bit of oil and some soy sauce. I also used the seasoning packet for some extra flavor. And then to top it off, I just sliced up some nori sheets, which are the sheets you use for sushi, and it adds a really nice umami flavor and also a seafoody flavor. And as a vegan, getting some source of iodine in there is really important. And I'm definitely a snacker and I love to stay up late, so I finished off my day with a Cliff Bar, these really delicious dairy-free ranch chips, and my favorite kombucha. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. Also find me on Instagram and let me know what you'd like to see in future videos.